Survivors Life After Stroke. Now before we get on with the show today, I wanted to introduce us and explain why it is we're making this programme. We're a group of Ravensbourne University students studying digital television production in London. We were set the task of creating a 30-minute live and interactive broadcasted show. We wanted to make something that had a story and had meaning, so we decided early on to partner up with the Stroke Association. And since then, we've been editing, filming VTs and creating content for this very programme. The Stroke Association have been a big part of creating this, providing us with contacts, key information and support, and have always been there throughout the process to help make this become a reality. Coming up on the show today, we'll be meeting Rick and Simone, two stroke survivors that will be telling us about their story and experience. We have a live studio interview with Clive Mellor, who'll be talking about his stroke in 2015 and telling us how he's been volunteering ever since. And we also have a very special fundraising challenge coming up to celebrate the last day of Make May Purple. Welcome to Survivors Life After Stroke.
Hello and welcome to Survivors Life After Stroke. My name's Anushka Cope and we are coming to you live from London. Partnering with the Stroke Association, on this broadcast we will spend the next 30 minutes celebrating stroke survivors, their stories and Make May Purple, a nationwide and groundbreaking campaign set up by the Stroke Association. We'll also be taking a closer look at the Stroke Association themselves and how they've continually supported stroke survivors since its launch in 1992. Now, we aren't just based in the studio for this show. My co-presenter Nicholas Benjamin is live at Parkside Community Centre.
Hi Anushka. Yes, I'm sat here at one of the many independent stroke support groups across London. When you get back, I'll be speaking to a few of the members, hearing their stories and finding out how their affiliation with the Stroke Association has helped them. Don't miss it, I'll be right back.
Thanks, Nicholas. Now, this show is live, and that means all of you guys at home can get involved. You can do this by sending in your stories or liking, commenting and sharing us on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages, details of which can all be seen on the screen now. You can also join the conversation through the hashtag #LifeAfterStroke. We would also like to ask you to donate to our fundraising page, strokesurvivors.co.uk, with all donations going to the Stroke Association. Right, now, earlier in the month, we went to speak to Michelle Damasio, the Regional Director in London for the Stroke Association, to find out more about what they do and their campaign Make May Purple.
I'm Michelle Damasio, and I'm the Director of Life After Stroke Services for London at the Stroke Association. The Stroke Association is a charity, and our vision is to have a world where there are fewer strokes, and anybody who's touched by stroke will get the support and information that they need. Our core service is our stroke recovery service. So this is where we will meet with people and we will support them to develop a recovery plan and set goals and how they can achieve it. We do provide other services. We have communication support services, so a number of people that have had a stroke will have aphasia, which is a communication difficulty following, and these groups will help people to improve on their communication. We also campaign to improve stroke care so that people can make the best recovery possible. We have Stroke Association voluntary groups where people can attend and take part in different activities. It could be social or exercise or art or music based, and then they develop a support system and a network of friends and have fun. So Make May Purple is the Stroke Association's annual stroke awareness raising month, and it happens every May, every year. And what we do is we've encouraged people to take part in Make May Purple by raising awareness of stroke, doing different things to raise money that is going to be supporting vital research to help stroke survivors and their families. And it can range from things like, people have baked cakes and cupcakes and sold it and donated the money to the Stroke Association. People have planted things purple, or some people have dyed their hair purple and done different kind of activities to raise money. People can get involved every May, every year. The impact of NHS budget cuts has sometimes affected us in our services. So there are clinical commissioning groups and local authorities, a lot of whom fund our services. And when they're under financial constraints, sometimes that has led to a reduction in services that we're able to provide, or a decommissioning of a service where we then don't have people delivering a service in that local area. Sometimes it is concerning that stroke-specific support that has really made a difference and supported people to kind of recover following their stroke is then, we're not able to provide it due to some of these financial pressures and cuts. People may be facing these challenges alone in their homes, but they're not alone in their experiences. So get in touch with us, visit our website, call our helpline, and we can put you in touch with some local resources so you don't have to go through this alone.
Thanks to Michelle for speaking to us. Now, as we are reaching the end of the Make May Purple campaign, our team wanted to put on our own fundraising challenge throughout last week. The rules are simple. 2 contestants have gone head-to-head to raise as much money as possible for the Stroke Association. However, whichever person raises the least amount of money has to suffer the consequence of a new purple look. The 2 started their fundraising efforts last Friday and have been keeping us updated on their progress on our social media pages. But for you lot at home, let's meet them both.
My name is Stephen Phillips.
My name's Anthony and I'm 23.
I'm 42 years of age.
The reason why I'm doing this challenge is because my dad's been through a few strokes himself, and the support from the Stroke Association has been invaluable to his recovery.
I've had quite a few relatives, friends that have suffered from strokes in the past, and I know it affects quite a few people, and it's a great cause. I'm
going to be using websites and technology to help me, as well as traditional fundraising at my university.
Well, it will be my birthday on Sunday. I'm also going to be going to the Royal British Legion. They're getting involved in it. I'm trying to get as much money as possible together so I don't get my beard dyed.
I really don't want to get my hair dyed purple because my work would have a bit of a problem with it, so please donate.
Going to work for the company I work for, I think it'll put people off to see me with a purple beard behind the counter. So please donate to me to make sure I don't get my beard dyed purple.
Stay tuned to find out if it's the beard or the hair that will be getting a purple makeover a little bit later on. As well as the fundraising competitions, today's show is all about telling the stories of those who have survived a stroke. This is Rick.
Hi, I'm Rick Kind, and I've had a stroke approximately 6 years ago. It happened on a Friday night, and I got up, and my eye was not in focus, and I rubbed it, and when I got up, the mirror on the mantelpiece, my face had dropped. I recognized the fast test because I'm an Eagle Scout, and so first aid training has been a big part of my life. And I got up the steps 2 floors to my wife sleeping. I came to speak, and no words came out. The career of musical director is largely finished now. I don't have the stamina or the voice to continue. I'm practicing my piano, but the right hand is weak now, and I've started again. The bass is fine because it's parallel motions as opposed to contrary motions. And I'm still arranging and composing. I gave up work because the job got too much for me. It's a payback to the Stroke Association, and in terms of helping out where I can. I volunteer for the communication support groups because the communication support is what helped me. I'm a mentor for the Back to Work programs in London, and in my tech capacity, I've run an iPad for stroke survivors group at the Uxbridge Library. It's busy, but I like it. The most advice I can give you is never give up and always expect the unexpected and keep on trying. A stroke can happen at any age. Babies and teenagers, as well as the older people. I'm working towards expanding my flexibility in the piano and stamina. I still suffer from fatigue a lot, and hopefully that will get better and better through the years. Stroke is a life-changing event, and you get a reminder that you are mortal as well. The life after stroke is possible, and I'm a good advert to it, because life after stroke is fine.
Thank you to Rick for talking to us. We would now like to take the time to highlight the FAST campaign, which Rick mentioned earlier. The FAST campaign focuses on informing the public about the warning signs of a stroke and what action to take. A stroke is a serious life-threatening medical condition that occurs when the blood supply to part of the brain is cut off. The sooner a person receives treatment for a stroke, the less damage there's likely to be. That is why the FAST campaign is so important. So F stands for face. The face may have dropped on one side. The person may not be able to smile, or their mouth or eye may have dropped. A is for arms. The person with suspected stroke may not be able to lift both arms and keep them there because of a weakness or numbness. S is for speech. Their speech may be slurred, or the person may not be able to talk at all despite appearing to be awake. And T is for time. It's time to dial 999 immediately if you see any of those signs or symptoms. Now let's speak to our hair dye campaigners outside the studio who are still hard at work raising money. Paula Garner is with them. How are they getting on?
Ready. Hello Anushka, and we are live here and the crack is amazing. It's just so exciting. We have Stephen and Anthony. These guys are absolute heroes. They've been working so hard to raise money for the Stroke Association. Guys, you've done an amazing job, and this is Anthony here. Anthony actually has a very personal connection to the Stroke Association. Anthony, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my dad, there's a thing, minor stroke, that it's called a TIA. He had his first one probably around 22 and has had a few since then. So it's a cause that is close to me, because the minor strokes can lead to major ones. And so it's something important that I really wanted to help with.
That's incredible, Anthony. And you know what? If you don't raise as much money, you're going to be dyeing your hair purple. How do you think you're going to cope with that? Are you okay with that? Can you do it?
No, I don't think I can.
Great answer. Great. Great, but hopefully you'll do well. And over here we have Stephen. Now, if Stephen doesn't win the most money, what Stephen's going to have to do is he's going to actually have to dye his beard purple, which is going to be so funny. I think this man can pull it off. But Stephen, how do you feel about having a purple beard?
I think at the moment it'll suit me with my burnt face and my complexion at the moment. And I'm looking to go and buy a nice purple shirt to go with it as well. So.
Do you know what, Stephen? I think you're going to look amazing, and these guys are amazing. And back to you in the studio, Anushka.
A few nervous competitors there, I think. Remember to let us know your opinion on who should be getting a new look on our social media pages under the hashtag #LifeAfterStroke. Next, we go back to another inspirational survivor. This time, it's Simone.
My name's Simone. I was 19 when I had my stroke, and that was in 2005. I can remember, actually, I was in college that day, everything was fine. Went home, had my dinner, and my mum, who's a nurse, she works at King's Hospital. She went to work that night and I started feeling funny. I wasn't quite sure what it was. And my ex actually came over. 5 minutes later, I had a stroke. I started throwing up and I lost all control of my body, where I was dead weight. And yeah, and it was pretty scary. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was a stroke. At 19, you don't expect to have a stroke. After I came home from hospital, where my boyfriend at the time was, and I dressed up, looked good, and found out he was actually cheating on me. So that knocked my confidence even more. We didn't break up straight away, but yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. You know, I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like no one else would want me, and that's another reason why I didn't break up with him straight away, because it was quite a scary thought, even though I was 19, to, you know, start dating again, and to have this stigma of stroke, and the fact that you can see that I couldn't walk properly, I couldn't really speak properly. So I stayed in the relationship for another year, but I ended it. So definitely felt like I had to rely on my family, my mum and my dad, massively. And I felt quite guilty for it. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel like, you know, you're done. And also, don't keep your feelings locked in. Make sure you do seek that help from either your GP and the Stroke Association. For me, the Stroke Association has been amazing. You know, your life does change and you have to kind of start looking at things differently, but also you can start looking at things in a positive way, because life is very short. I'm doing a hair and media makeup course. The dream, to be like a celebrity makeup artist, yeah. Celebrity makeup artist, obviously, you know, money's there as well. But yeah, that would be actually the dream.
Thanks so much for sharing your story with us, Simone. We can now cross back over to my co-presenter, Nicholas Benjamin, who is live at Parkside Community Centre to find out more about what they do there.
Thanks, guys. And to the bloke dyeing his beard purple, it's the colour of the month. Embrace it, mate. It should be a privilege. Speaking of privileges, I am sat here with 8 very special guests. Now, you are all members of the Stroke Support Group, is that right?
Yes.
Now, Irene, I'm going to come to you first because you're right next to me. Can you tell us a bit about the Parkside Stroke Club and what it exactly is you do here?
Well, the Parkside Stroke Club is a happy club. We do, which is most essential for anyone who's unfortunate to have a stroke, is exercises. We have a qualified instructor who makes it happy and we enjoy doing them. It all helps. Also, we have in-house entertainment and meals. We go out to a meal, which is all organised with transport.
Lovely.
We have afternoon teas, and our Christmas party is something we all look forward to. So in other words, we make it as a happy club as possible, and that's with the help of the committee and help at times from the
Great work that they're doing there. Remember, it's your money which will be supporting independent groups like these, so please don't forget to donate at our website, strokesurvivors.co.uk. We're now joined in the studio by Clive Mellor, who over the last 2 years has been recovering from a stroke he had in August 2015. Welcome to the show, Clive.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Can you tell us a bit about your story and what happened after your stroke?
I mean, for me, I had a Sunday afternoon and I've been doing some ironing and I just suddenly had a really sharp headache on my right-hand side of my head, and I said to my wife, Jackie, would you mind getting me some water and some paracetamol? And the next thing I remember is she's on the phone ringing 999.
Wow,
and I had no idea. And as she was ringing, I was saying, I'm okay, I've just got a headache.
That's Crazy. Literally, it can just come at any time
But
and just without
so
not
she
expecting
rang
it.
and very quickly there was a paramedic came and gave me a quick assessment and they thought I may have had a stroke.
Wow. Sounds like
And
the
they-
NHS did quite a
yes,
good job
and
though
they
to come
called
through.
an ambulance and then probably within another half an hour I was in an ambulance taking me to hospital. So I was very lucky because I arrived very early on in my stroke, so I was treated with
There you go.
thrombolysis, which clears the clot. And at the time I still felt all I had was a headache.
Yeah.
I had no idea that my left side was paralysed.
Yeah, well, that's why the FAST campaign is so important, isn't it?
Yes, I
Good.
was very lucky that my wife spotted the symptoms so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she realised I had a stroke, but she knew there was something wrong.
And you were quite a keen runner before your stroke. How has it affected your mobility since?
It's affected it massively, yes. I used to run probably 5 or 6 times a week, and now I can get around with my stick, but very, very slowly. I don't know whether I'll ever run again. That's one of my ambitions, to get back to that.
What's the physio been like through the NHS? Has it been
The
quite
physio was excellent, because at first I couldn't move my left leg even a millimetre, so even just to be able to hobble round now with a stick
amazing?
is a sort of great improvement from where I was.
Great.
In fact, at first when they put me in a chair, I couldn't even sit in a chair because you just fell
really?
to the side.
That's incredible. Yeah, you've got to keep your muscles quite strong, I
Yes,
suppose, as
and
well. Good. And you also are a volunteer with the Stroke Association. Do you feel like working with others who have communication difficulties, does that help you towards your recovery and managing it?
I think in some ways it teaches me that my stroke could have been far worse, because with me it was mainly physical symptoms, but I've seen many people at the Stroke Association group that I help at who really, really struggle with memory, reading, writing, and which obviously gives them big difficulties in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, for sure. I guess that's what the Stroke Association done. It brings people together so you can kind of get a spectrum of what's kind of going on in the community. It's nice though. I think it's important.
And it's nice seeing the support the Stroke Association gives them, helping them with deal with just normal daily life issues of paying bills. And
where are you now with your recovery?
I would still say still at a relatively early stage. When I talk to my doctors, they say, the recovery, it's impossible to say how much I will recover from where I am today, but I'm still in the recovery stage and I've still got a long way to go. But how fully recovered I'll be at the end of this process, it's very difficult to say.
And you mentioned earlier that you're an accountant and obviously you had some time off work, but now you're back, you're doing what you love doing. How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, that felt great. I mean, I went back to work here about a year ago, and I've just changed jobs to actually now working at the hospital where I was a patient for 4 months.
Oh, amazing. That's really interesting.
So that's nice. So yes, it's good to be back at work, because when you come out of hospital and you're at home, you get community services, but it can be quite isolating. And
well, you loved your job as well, so that's important.
Yes, it's great just to get back to work and have that sort of day-to-day contact with people.
Excellent. And one last question before we go. What advice would you give to someone who has recently suffered a stroke?
I would say follow the advice of the professionals, the therapists. Just fight it. Do everything you possibly can. Take all the advice of the professionals.
Amazing. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Clive.
You don't know where you'll end up, but
just wait and see.
Give it your best shot.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in and taking the time to speak to us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. And apologies for cutting that short earlier over at Parkside, but we're going to move on because we've got lots to come. So we're going to move on to look at what you lovely people at home have been doing for Make May Purple. We start off in Portsmouth with the Stroke Association Step Out for Stroke campaign, which was a chance for stroke survivors, friends and family to take part in a walk together. And carrying on in Portsmouth, here is the Stroke Association spreading awareness that a stroke can affect anyone at any age, which is really important. And moving on to Croydon, here's just one example of a communication and support group. Here is another in the form of an arts and crafts session. And look, it just goes to show that anyone can support the Stroke Association. Finally, here's Kings Lynn Town Hall, who really did make May Purple. Amazing. Thank you guys so much for all those pictures and for supporting Make May Purple. Remember, you can still join the conversation on our social media pages and using the hashtag #LifeAfterStroke. Please, please, please keep donating at our website, strokesurvivors.co.uk. I can now reveal it's finally time to get back to Paula and our nervous competitors to find out who will be going purple. Hi, Paula.
So we are back, and it's the moment we are all been waiting for. And let me tell you, the tension here is incredible. If you could feel the tension coming off Anthony and Stephen, they are literally a bag of nerves. You're a bag of nerves, aren't you? And they have just been working like heroes, working flat out. But I can now tell you, are you feeling nervous, Stephen?
Slightly.
Are you feeling nervous?
Yeah.
It's just the tension. I won't drag it out, though. I can tell you that the winner, having raised £120, is Anthony. It's you. It's Anthony. Well done, Anthony. How do you feel?
Relieved.
Relieved. Good.
I really wasn't looking forward to this, so it's good.
And is there a little part of you is a little bit sad that you're not going to have purple hair?
Well, you know, although I think I would look great with purple hair, I knew he was so excited to have it done. I thought, you know, I'll be the bigger man then.
How do you feel about your new beard?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm quite looking forward to it. I think it'll suit me. It'll go well.
I think you're going to look incredible because, Stephen, you can pull it off. You're a great guy. And we're going to go back to the studio. Thanks, Anushka.
Thanks, guys. Well, now that we know who is getting this special new look, you can find out exactly how that colour turns out by visiting our social media pages, where all our hair dyeing action will take place after the show. Unfortunately, it is almost time for our show to end. We would like to say a huge thank you to all our guests, the Stroke Association, and to you guys all at home for your messages and your support and for tuning in. It's goodbye from me and the team, but to play us out of the show, here is Stacey Butcher with his cover of Home.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. Get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demon, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. Gonna make this place your home.